Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about graphs in competitive programming in general. Now, we're not going to be talking about the specifics of graphs like algorithms relating to graphs or graph traversal or anything like that. We're just going to be talking about what a graph is, the very basics of graphs. Now, when we're talking about graphs in programming, usually we're not going to be talking about graphs like this, where there's like a x-axis and a y-axis and a line or bars or anything like that. Not a traditional graph, though people do use those graphs in programming, but we're going to be talking about graphs that look something like this. Now, these graphs, they consist of nodes and edges. Now, a node is basically it's typically represented by a circle, which may or may not have some sort of value in the middle. So, for example, this one could have 1, this one could have 2 and 3. And graphs typically also have edges that connect the nodes together. Now, there are a variety of things that one could do with graphs, like showing connections between places. Like, for example, if you're trying to there's a problem called the traveling salesman problem, where basically you're just given a bunch of different locations or different nodes, and there's it's all weirdly or in some way connected together, and you have to find out whether or not it's possible to visit each node exactly once or visit each edge exactly once, or problems like that. And nodes usually, as I said before, have some sort of value or something representing the graph, or it could be like a string or something like that. Now, this is like the most basic type of graph. Now, in a graph, you can have paths, like something like this. So a path is basically like a route that connects different nodes in the graph. For example, a path could be like this, and it doesn't even have to be connected. It could be like a zigzag like that. But a path is basically like a path between different nodes that go through the edges, that use the edges. For example, you can't have a path that goes like this unless there's like a special circumstance where you can go in places where there are no edge, but usually it follows the edges. Now, usually you can represent paths by the values of the nodes. So that's one of the purposes. One of the reasons there may be numbers inside the nodes, or the nodes may be represented by some sort of value. So here you can represent this path by maybe like listing by using a list like 4, 3, 2 or something like that. That is basically like a path. And you'll have to use paths when, say, you're doing the traveling salesman problem or you're doing other graph traversal problems. And when a path has the same first node and last node, it becomes a cycle. So, for example, we can have the following. Oops. Let me just draw that better. So, for example, we can have the following cycle. Now, this is a cycle. So, we're going this way. But it's a cycle because we start at and end at the node at value 4. So, that is basically a cycle. So, if we're doing the traveling salesman problem, we'd have to find all the cycles that also utilize all the edges, or may or may not. Now, another terminology is a simple cycle. So a path is simple, or a path, not a cycle, terminology for a path. So a path is simple if each node appears at most once in the path. So no row is repeated. So for example, you can't have, so a path like this is not simple. So we're going like back to node 2, so that's not a simple path, but this would be a simple path. So every node is visited at most once there are no repeated nodes, there are no turning back, that is a simple path. Now, another terminology to describe an entire graph is connectivity. So basically, a graph is connected if there's a path between any two nodes. Like between any two nodes that you pick, there are two. There's a path connecting them. Now, it just so happens that this graph that I drew is a connected graph, so we can do this to make it not connected. Now, if we erase the path, or if we erase the edge between node 1 and node 3, and then erase the path or erase the edge between node 1 and node 2, then we have an unconnected graph, because there's one node that does not have any connection at all. It's not possible to get to 1. If there was a salesman traveling inside this graph, then it would not be possible to reach cell number 1. Now, if we have an unconnected graph, then we can refer to these parts as components of the graph. So this will be a component, and this will be a component. So these are all the different components, because they're separate parts of the graph, and they're not connected in any way. So now there's another type of graph called a tree. Now trees are like used for like a whole different category of problems, but a tree generally looks something like this. So there's like a root node, and then there's like branches kind of going down from the root, kind of inherited from the root, I guess you could say. Now, by definition, it's any graph that has n number of nodes, so n number of nodes, and n minus 1 edges. So now, as we can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nodes, and 1, 2, 3, 4 edges. So that is a tree by definition. And in every tree, there will be a unique path between any two nodes of a tree, like so. You see, between these two nodes, there is a unique edge, and from this node to this node, there is also a unique path from here and then here. Now, if there was like a connection here, that would not be a tree, because there wouldn't be like a single unique path that connects two nodes. Now, another type of graph that one might encounter is a directed graph. So a directed graph is a graph where its edges can only be traversed in one direction only. Like maybe you can think of every edge of the graph as being a vector, like so. For example, if we can only traverse the graph this way, so we cannot legally traverse it this way, we can only traverse it this way. Now, another type of graph you might see is weighted graphs. So in a weighted graph, each edge is assigned a weight. Now, for example, a graph could have an edge with weight 3. You could have each weight be the sum of the two nodes that the edge connects. So, for example, we could have 5 here, and then like 7 here and 6 here. And yeah, that is basically a weighted graph. Another terminology that you can use to describe two nodes is whether or not they are neighbored. So whether or not they are neighbors. So for example, in this graph, 3 and 4 are neighbors because there is a singular edge that connects them. You don't have to visit another node in order to get from 3 to 4. But in this graph, node 1 and node 3 are not neighbors. You have to visit node 2 in order to go from node 1 or to node 3 or vice versa. Now, you might even encounter graphs that use colors. So for example, this node could be colored red, and this node could be colored green, and so on. And finally, we can use simplicity to describe a graph. So any graph you can describe as being simple if there is only one edge between any two nodes. So for example, this graph is simple because between any two nodes that you find, between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 2 and 4, there's only ever one edge connecting them. Now this would be a non-simple node, or a complex graph, if you will. So there could even be a path or an edge that leads back to the node itself. Yeah, for some reason there could be a graph like that. So yeah, these are the basic terminology when we are describing graphs. Now, I hope if you've never encountered graphs before, you could have learned something new today. Goodbye.